Owen Roizman is a legendary cinematographer. He's Oscar nominated on 5 occasions, and he always was sort of a still photographer as well, but in the mid-90s, a really good friend of his, Douglas Kirkland, who's a top set photographer, started sharing with him some of the new digital technologies that were coming out. And he got really excited about the options, started with a little 1 megapixel camera and noodling around with, prototypes of programs like Adobe Photoshop, and the whole project grew from that moment.
I just shot these pictures. I ended up getting some good pictures with some interesting people. And then I went and used Photoshop, and I didn't know anything about that, so I just played around, and I would come up with these varied images, and I got more into portrait photography. And then somebody said, we should put these in the American Cinematographer magazine, do a monthly thing called Member Portrait, something like that. And I said, well, great idea.
Well, Owen Roizman's been a longtime governor at the Academy, and I've been aware of this series of portraits for many years because he's been shooting them and publishing them in the American Cinematographer magazine for the better part of a decade now, and had gotten up to shooting well over 100 cinematographers. And he had finally gotten to the critical mass where we had enough for a really strong exhibition.
I've been working on it for quite a while, and just getting it ready. And I've come over with Ellen Harrington and worked on just looking at the images and where they were going to go and things like that. But this is the first time I've seen it all lit, hung properly, and with the captions on. So it was very exciting for me. It's like a dream fulfilled, really.
The Academy, just look at the walls. He lights them up. The same power that he put into cinema, he's got in still photographs, and that's not too easily done. Very few people can do it. In fact, I've never known of anybody to take a talent like Owen's and convert it into still photographs.
I'm uncomfortable being on the other side of the camera, but I was taking Owen's picture here, and that's Owen right there taking this picture that you see. And I thought it was great that Owen used it because it's not your regular portrait, but this is the guy that the show is all about. So, what the hell?
It's actually, what it's like for me is that my picture is hanging with a bunch of people that I have admired for many years. And it was comfortable having the picture taken because Owen is a friend, so he made it comfortable. I think it represents the place that the ASC, or the cinematographer, has in the motion picture industry. I think that the Academy being interested in hanging it as an exhibit shows the respect they have for the cinematographers for a lot of years.
Well, cinematographers are never comfortable being on the other side of the camera, but when you're photographed by another cinematographer like Owen Roizman, he knows all the tricks. He knows all the ways to make somebody who's used to being behind the lens comfortable in front of the lens. This exhibit, I think, demonstrates that when you have a visionary person behind the camera, the medium, whether it's a motion picture, a still camera, a computer-generated image, it all springs out from the talent and the vision of the person who's creating that image. So this is a marvelous testament to Owen's talent, I think, and it's a great love letter to the ASC, the members of the ASC.
It's extraordinary how he has treated everybody in such an individual way. He's like psychic reader, and he's able to see something special, and people say, well, it's nothing to it. You use a high shutter speed, you can capture anything. No, it's not. You have to know which 250th or a 50th of a second is the right one, and he seems to have that knack.
I emailed him a couple of weeks ago and asked him how he was doing. And he said, "Oh, I'm working on the color matching, and I'm going crazy here, and I'm still not done." And I wrote him back, and I said, you're tweaking up to the last minute. That sounds familiar." So he's really brought the passion of his career as a cinematographer into this, and it's just really cool to be here to help him celebrate. He's a good man.
Basically, he's a cinematographer, and to see the quality and the affection that is reflected in the photographs. He's got Conrad Hall around the corner here with the twinkle in his eye. It's really good.